Today I'm going to be playing through Pokemon FireRed with only shiny Pokemon. Not only that, but it will be a hardcore Nuzlocke as well. I did, however, increase the shiny odds from the regular 1 in 8,192 in Generation 3 to 1 in 100. With all that being said, we're close to 5k subscribers, so please subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff. In all honesty, I do prefer the 2D sprites over the 3D ones, so let's get into Kanto and find some dope shiny Pokemon. After getting Professor Oak, we make our way back to the lab to pick our starter Pokemon. I decided to choose my favorite Kanto starter, which is Bulbasaur. I do name my Pokemon after my sub, so if I missed you, I do apologize. Thank goodness it only took 3 soft resets to get this amazing shiny. After receiving our shiny starter, we now get to take on our rival Gary. Even if we do lose this battle, which, spoiler alert, we don't. Our Nuzlocke is not over since it officially starts when we receive the Pokeballs. After many tackles, we take out his Charmander. After the battle, we do head north up to Viridian City to receive the Oak Parcel from the Pokemart, then return back to Pallet Town to go give it to Professor Oak in order to obtain our Pokeballs and start our Nuzlocke. After wandering in Route 1 for a little bit, we do eventually find our first shiny Rattata or Rattata. Guys, in the comments, let me know how you say it. I say Rattata and Rattata, so to me it doesn't matter. We do catch him, and with that, we now have our second member to our hardcore Nuzlocke team. I did decide to grind Bulbasaur before our next shiny encounter. We went left of Viridian City. Sorry guys, I absolutely forget what this route is. 22, 23, I have no idea. But we do find a shiny Spearow, which we do catch. And with that, that's number 3 to our amazing team. Don't worry peeps, I did not forget the next route. We went north of Viridian City to Route 2 to find our shiny Weedle, which I name Colin. Colin, I'm sorry, you know I love you bro, but I'm sorry you had to be named Weedle for the memes. We go through Viridian next, where we find a shiny Caterpie, which we do catch. On our way through Viridian, we do evolve our shiny Weedle into Kakuna and our shiny Kakuna into Beedrill. And then we are set to take on arguably the greatest and most underrated gym leader that there ever is in Brock. We have made it through Pewter City and it's time to take on Brock. He sends out Geodude, which we Vine Whip and take him out in one shot. And next is my favorite Pokemon, Onix, which sadly we do take out with a one shot with a Vine Whip again. I'm sorry bro. But with that, we do obtain our first gym badge in this hardcore Nuzlocke and set our way to Cerulean City to take on Misty for our second gym badge. After defeating Brock, we head east out of Pewter City to receive our running shoes and do some more trainer battles to level up our Pokemon and evolve. First, we evolve Spearow into Fearow, and eventually we do evolve our Bulbasaur into Ivysaur. After evolving Ivysaur, we do catch a Jigglypuff in Route 2, but I do opt out to put him on our team because we are able to add my second favorite Pokemon's free evolution in Magikarp right before Mount Moon in the Pokemon Center. It only took us a couple soft resets to get, but there you go Will, I named this Pokemon after you, and now we do have Magikarp on the team. Before taking on Misty, we do catch a shiny Ekans in Route 4. Up next is the second gym. Staryu's the first one to come out, which we take out with a Vine Whip. Up next is Starmie, which we do take out with a Razor Leaf after a hard-fought battle. And with that, we now have the second gym badge, and we look forward to Vermilion City to take on Lieutenant Surge. Prior to going to the SSN, we do make our way towards Diglett Cave to find a shiny Diglett. I decide to use Diglett on the team because I think he'll be a valuable asset for Lieutenant Surge and his electric gym. After catching Diglett, we make our way to the SSN to battle our rival Gary. At first he sends in a Pidgeotto, which we do take out with a bite from Will or Gyarados. The final part of this battle includes our Rian Diglett taking on his Charmeleon, which we do take out with a couple magnitudes. Before doing the next gym, I do decide to catch a Drowsy as our next encounter. Oh boy, did Lieutenant Surge catch me off guard. We did take out his first 2 Pokemon easily, but lost Diglett, Butterfree, and almost our starter 2 to his Raichu. I'm dumb and didn't think Double Team would be this effective. We do eventually take him out with a Leech Seed after switching out. We now turn our attention to the 4th gym, but first on our way there, we do evolve Drowsy into Hypno and go north of the power plant to catch a shiny Voltar. There's something about the 2D sprite shiny Voltar that I just prefer way more over the 3D sprite. Next, we head west of Lavender Town to find a shiny Growlithe. After finding the shiny dog, we did manage to catch him and look forward to taking on Erica, the 4th gym leader in Celadon City. Up next is Erica, who sends out Victory Bell first. We send out our Hypno. It takes about 2 confusions to take her out. We then swap to Fear, who takes out the Vileplume with a couple of pecks. After receiving our 4th gym badge, we make our way up one of the buildings in Celadon City to obtain our next Pokemon, which is shiny Eevee. Fortunately, it did not take many resets to obtain him. After grinding some money, I realized that I really wanted to get Dratini on the team, so I soft resetted for Dratini to add him to this amazing team. After getting shiny Dratini, I did decide to level him up and evolve him. After evolving him, I did opt out to putting him in the team as per level cap, we can't get Dragonite yet, and I didn't really want to use Dragonair. At the same time, I bought a Thunderstone and we evolved our Eevee into Jolteon. After the double evolution, I did decide now it's time to go through the Rocket Hideout. And let's just say we had another evolution during the process to get to Giovanni. Here we see Ivysaur evolve finally into Venusaur. It's now time to take on Giovanni. This battle was not too hard. At first he sends out an Onix, which we one-shot with a Razor Leaf. And last he sent out Kangaskhan, which we do take out with another Razor Leaf. Now we've obtained the Silph Scope and head on over to Lavender Town and the Power Tower to save Mr. Fuji. Before we get to Mr. Fuji, we do have to take on Gary, and let's just say this battle wasn't too hard as we pretty much one-shot his whole team, as you can see here, Thunderbolting Charmeleon to end this battle. After saving Mr. Fuji from the Team Rocket grunts, we do obtain the Pokeflute from him and set sail back to Celadon City to find our next encounter. After catching Snorlax, it is now time to take on the 5th gym leader, Kojo. We pretty much just use Hypno and he takes care of the rest of his team. Mach takes about 2 Psychics as he does use Minimize, and we do miss a couple Psychics, but in the end we do take him out. Coughing's next, which is Shiny, which we do take out with another Psychic, and last is Wheezing, which we do take out with a couple of Psychics after he does use his potions. It's now time to head back to Saffron City and do the Team Rocket hideout and eventually the gym. Once getting Rocket Hideout, it's time to take on Gary again. At first he sends out Pidgeot, which we do take out with a Thunderbolt. Jolteon pretty much carries this whole round, so Gyarados is up. Another Thunderbolt takes him out. Up next we see an Execute, which we do bite and get a flinch off. And then we do take one more bite to finish him off. Alakazam is next, which it does take 2 Thunderbolts to take him on, even with the Calm Mind usage. And last he has his Charizard, which we do one-shot with a Thunderbolt. And with that, we do beat Gary and now head over to take on Giovanni and get the Master Ball. Sends out Nidorino, which we attack first with a Water Pulse. At first it didn't do much damage, so I decided to go with an Ice Beam. We then use Water Pulse again, and he still has 1 last HP. 1 extra Water Pulse takes him out. Rhyhorn's next, which we do one-shot with a Water Pulse. Up next is Kangaskhan, which we do switch out to Venusaur and put him to sleep and take him out with a combination of Strength and Razor Leaf. After 1 last Razor Leaf, we do take out Kangaskhan. Up next, he sends out Nidoqueen, which we switch out back into Hypno. Hypno takes 2 Psychics to take out Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, after this battle, Venusaur and Hypno are over the level cap, so we do need to swap them in for Snorlax and Beedrill. It's time for Sabrina. She first sends out a Kadabra and we send out our Gyarados. It takes a couple of bites even with the Calm Mind to take out Kadabra. Up next is Mr. Mime, which does take a couple of bites again, but she does decide to heal, which takes us a little bit more bites. Yeah, this gym is pretty much Bite City. Venomoth is Sabrina's next Pokemon, and we take him out with a collection of Ice Beam and Water Pulse. Thankfully, our second Water Pulse does hit a crit, and we take out the Venomoth. Her final Pokemon is Alakazam. I tried to defeat him with Bite, but the confusion and the power of Psychic almost takes me out. I do decide at the end that I need to switch out into Snorlax, and we are able to one-shot him with Body Slam. And with that, we now have defeated Sabrina and earned our 6th gym badge and set coast to Cinnabar City to take on Blaine, the 7th gym leader. It's time for Blaine and the 7th gym leader. Let's just say, I failed one of the trivias, like, on purpose. I don't know if it's my fault, but the question was, does Poliwag evolve 3 times? And in my head, I'm like, yes. But then, I don't know. Am I wrong? Because isn't it Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, and Politoed? I'm not sure. Alright, time to take on Blaine. He first sends out Growlithe, and we send out Gyarados. Gyarados pretty much one-shots this whole team minus Arcanine. So the first goes down with a Surf, the second Ponyta goes down with a Surf. Up next is Rapidash, which goes down with a Surf after that crit. And last is Arcanine, which we do use a couple of Surfs. And Blaine does decide to use a Hyper Potion, so it takes a little bit more Surfs. But after that, we do take him out and earned our 7th gym badge. And it's time for Giovanni and our 8th gym badge prior to the Elite Four. We now make our way back to Viridian City to take on the final gym leader, Giovanni, for our 8th gym badge. He first sends out Rhyhorn, and we follow up by sending Will, our shiny Gyarados. We use Surf pretty much this whole fight. He next sends out Rhyhorn, which we do follow up with another Surf to take him out. Up next is Dugtrio, which we do one-shot him with a crit to take him out with another Surf. Next is Nidoqueen, which we do take out after a couple Surfs and a couple of Hyper Potions that Giovanni uses on her. His final Pokemon is Nidoking, which we do take out with 2 Surfs. And with that, we have now obtained our 8th gym badge and set our journey to finally end through Victory Road and do the Elite Four. After Growlithe learned the move Flamethrower, it was now time to evolve him with our Firestone. After showing the security guard our final badge, we now make our way through Victory Road. I think he's a security guard. Guys, let me know what he is. I actually have no idea. After some battles in Victory Road, we do evolve Dragonair into Dragonite, and now this is pretty much our final team for the Elite Four. After exiting Victory Road, we do kind of get lost in this puzzle. You guys can just make fun of me if you guys want. I'm really dumb here. After healing, it's time to take on the first Elite Four member, and we pretty much just use Jolteon till the end of the fight, but we take out Duon with a Thunderbolt, follow up by Cloyster, which we do take out with a Thunderbolt. Up next is Slowbro, which we one-shot again with Thunderbolt. Next is Lapras, and pretty much Lapras, she uses all her potions on Lapras, and we do get paralyzed here. We go for another Thunderbolt after the full restore, and she does decide to use another full restore. So it does take us 2 more Thunderbolts to take Lapras finally out. Up next is Jinx, which we do switch out to our Arcanine and one-shot it with the Flamethrower. Luckily, the Attract didn't do anything and we were able to get past it. With that, up next is Bruno, the 2nd Elite Four member. I decide to go with Venusaur for our first pick, and as he chooses Onix, we do 1 Razor Leaf to take out the Onix. Bruno decides to go with Hitmonchan next, and guys, he actually gave us some trouble, and we actually almost lose our starter here. We do go around by using Strength to try to take him out, but 1 counter almost knocks us out, but luckily we were able to get him with an extra Strength. Up next is Hitmonlee. I do decide to switch out to our Dragonite and just Wing Attack him to death. Up next, he sends him a Champ. We try to Wing Attack him. Unfortunately, we do not get him with a one-shot. Luckily, though, he does use Bulk Up, and we don't get attacked. The Citrus Berry does give him enough HP where he's not going to use the potion, so we do knock him out with a Wing Attack. We then switch out to Will, our shiny Gyarados, and use 1 Surf to take out Onix. Now we've defeated Bruno and move on to the 3rd Elite Four member. Guys, I just realized that it's so unfortunate that we took out 2 Onixes in that fight. Guys, let me know in the comment section below how much you appreciate Onix now. Now we move on to Agatha, the third Elite 4 member. She first sends out Gengar and we followed up with Gyarados. We do use a bite. She does use double team. We do follow it up by another bite, and then she used a confuse ray. Unfortunately, we do hit ourselves, but after the next one, we do get out, but do miss. One more bite takes out Gengar. Up next is Golbat, which does take 2 Ice Beams. Fortunately, Air Cutter didn't do much damage, but after the second Ice Beam, there goes Golbat. Up next is Arbok, and I do decide to switch out into our Jolteon. Sludge Bomb does do a lot of damage to us, so I do swap back out into Dragonite. Sludge Bomb fortunately doesn't do this much, and we do take him out with a couple of flies. Her last Pokemon is Haunter, and we do decide to switch out into Arcanine. He does manage to put us to sleep and use a full restore, but we do wake up and take him out with a couple of more flamethrowers. Now that Agatha is defeated, we do make our way to the final Elite 4 member, guys. We are almost done this. Lance is up next. First, Lance sends out Gyarados. We followed up with a Jolteon. Jolteon uses Thunderbolt to one-shot him and take him out. Up next is Dragonair, and we do decide to switch out to Gyarados because he has an Ice move, right? So let's Ice Beam him. It does take 2 Ice Beams to take out the Dragonair. Up next is Aerodactyl, and I do decide to go with Surf. I got nervous that he was going to take us out, so I do decide to swap back into Jolteon. Fortunately, he misses the Hyper Beam, and we are able to hit the Thunderbolt and take out Aerodactyl. Up next is Dragonair again, and I'm going to Thunder Wave him and paralyze him, and he's also going to do the exact same move. I forgot about Shed Skin, so I do decide to switch back into Dragonite and just use Outrage to take out the Dragonair. Dragonite is up next, and our Dragonite almost gets knocked out, so I decide to swap out back into Snorlax. And pretty much this is just a slugfest of him using potions and us using Body Slam. After the third Body Slam in a row, we do take him out and defeat Lance, and on our way to Gary for the championship match. Gary first sends out Pidgeot, and we followed up by Jolteon. Jolteon does use Thunderbolt to take him out in a one-shot. Up next, Gary sends out Rhydon, and we do switch out back to our starter Venusaur. Earthquake does do half our damage, but fortunately one Razor Leaf does take out Rhydon. Now I was hesitant on who I wanted to go against Alakazam. I was debating putting in Gyarados, but do decide to go with Arcanine. One Flamethrower does half its health, and a second Flamethrower does take him out. Fortunately, we survive with 12 HP. He sends out Gyarados. We go back to Gauge our Jolteon, and we are able to one-shot Gyarados with a Thunderbolt. After he sends out Executor, I do decide to switch back to M, and let's just say Hypnosis gets the best of us in this fight. I go for a Fly. He misses his Sleep Powder. I do about half the damage with Fly. I do get put to sleep, and this is pretty much the end of Dragonite. We were very unsuccessful in waking up and Egg Bomb and all that fun stuff. This battle was just a repetitiveness of just falling asleep and full restores. And like I mentioned before, we do fall to the Executor. Giga Drain is the final blow that takes us out. I go back into Gauge to take out the last hit on the Executor. I do use Bite and take out Executor. Now it's pretty much up to Charizard to save his team. I do use Thunderbolt. Somehow Charizard lives with 1 HP and takes out Jolteon. I do switch back to Gyarados and use one more Surf to finish him off and complete our hardcore Nuzlocke. Guys, once again, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Like I mentioned before, we are getting close to 5,000 subscribers, and that would be awesome. In the end, we do have 4 deaths, but do win this Nuzlocke. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.